What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology. The Titans. He's done it again! Action! Sporting at the bottom of the map in the blue color. Building an ox cart first when the Auroch is literally right next to his town center. His name is Shelty, and he is the snake. His opponent today in the red color, playing as Oranos. His name is Grass the Kid. The Kid Grass. Grass and Groom. Grass the Kid. It's currently 1-1 in this best of 3 series between these two players. Grass showing Shelty a strategy of how to beat the mass Ulfsark of Odin very, very handily. And then Shelty, in turn, showing Grass a strategy of how to beat the mass Ulfsark of Oranos as Odin. So both players have kind of played a little bit of a different game style here in this series. We'll see if Grass is going to be adapting here. The map is very, very similar to Sheltered Pass here, but 2 gold mines in the main base. So we'll see if the game is going to be moving across a little bit differently. The map is Gold Rush. Rushing for the middle for the gold mine here is everything. We'll see how things are going to go here as the cows getting found out here. One of the most important things you can do here with Oranos is full utilize these oracles to scout all around the map. You need to find as many of these cows as possible. Giving mass cows over to the Odin is a very, very big mistake here. But it's not like Grass is making that mistake. He is scouting with those oracles. Studying the map and studying where the cow spawns are is really, really important, I would say. Now, personally, I don't really know where they are. If we take a look at how many cows have been found here for Shelty in this game, he's found himself 7, 8, 9 plus Great Hunt, obviously. So not a crazy amount. Whereas Grass and Groom on the other side of the map here, he's found himself 8 plus without the Great Hunt on those. Plus these cows coming back into his main base, he's got himself 11. I'd have to say Grass and Groom going to be really, really happy about the early game here in terms of his cow scouting. And we'll see how this game is going to be finishing up here. We have seen Great Hunt being used. I wonder if he used it. Was it for Aurochs or not? It kind of looks like it was for Aurochs. So he did use Great Hunt on the Aurochs here. So the most optimal Great Hunt you could possibly get on this map would be a 750 hunt spawn, and there isn't any 750. So the best you could get is 2 boars here. But with Shelty getting some cows here, you can get 1 Auroch at 400 food, and a cow that spawns, I believe it spawns at like 80-ish food or something. It's a little bit more than a goat, maybe 75 food. You can get a handful of those cows, maybe 3 cows as well. Out of a Great Hunt early, as we do see the next Auroch getting taken out there. And we'll see what's happening as the Promethean comes through. Prometheus, I should say, comes through. Shelty, on the other hand, going through Freya. No surprise here.
Skipan. Skipan? Tilbúin.
Did I say that wrong? Grass showing Shelty how to beat Mass Ulfsark, and Shelty showing Grass how to beat Mass Murmillo. That's what I was trying to say. Look, sometimes my brain just doesn't quite work, all right? I don't know. Anyways. All right, relics on the map here. We've got the Harmonious Necklace plus 10% villager gold gather rate, as well as the Eye of Ornlu with the extra 5% on the infantry there. If we take a look at the map, there aren't any other relics. Nothing else is happening. Villagers just going to be happily sitting in the base for the main part here. This is a really big help to Atlantean here at the start of the game, because it means that... Why wouldn't you build the barracks over here? I mean, it's fine. It's just... Whatever. The Aurochs here in the main base mean that Grass doesn't have to move out onto a second hunt very early here. And he's going to be able to start his production and deal with any sort of Valkyrie raids nice and early. I also really, really love that this one Oracle just sits back here ready to deal with the Valkyrie. As the Valkyrie going to be moving across the map here, you can burn the trees. The villager here will move back onto the pine tree and potentially move over onto this location. Not the biggest of problems there. It's now the Promethean offspring coming in onto this position. We see the walls coming in. This is a really, really nice way to play Gold Rush. One of the big weaknesses in Gold Rush is that the wood line is quite far away from the town center, and there's only one wood line. Now, it's a huge wood line, but there is only one wood line. So utilizing the back towers here, as we do see Valor getting utilized here as the Citizen pulls back onto this position, the Murmillo hero is going to come through. This back wood line here, if you build walls and you utilize the towers and you build houses and you try and make a defensive position here, that's how you defend your wood line. Really nice play there from Shelty here in this game. As Grass still starting off with that exactly the same build here, making himself the Murmillo, making himself the Murmillo heroes as well. Shelty, on the other hand, has gotten himself the same start here, straight into Ulfsark, straight into the Lone Wanderer. Still no third longhouse like he had in the last game. Oh, no, he does have the third longhouse, excuse me. So 3 longhouses into Throw an Axeman is his answer. Now, the question is, has Grass and Groom scouted this? He sees 2 here, doesn't see the third one. So I do think that the answer here that Grass is looking for is, if you see the third longhouse, you know that something a little bit different is going on in this game. And that can be a clue as to whether you should be building less Murmillo. As we do see the medium Ulfsarks come through here for Shelty. Going to be taking out a couple of Murmillo on that position, as Grass does get caught out of position quite significantly there, as the Citizen getting Garrison there. There's a very, very big amount of damage coming through now onto Grass, as Shelty most likely going to be moving across the map here. No, he's sitting back playing defensively. He's currently deciding to eat berries instead of moving out onto these boards. That is a big decision there from Shelty. We'll see if it's going to be working out for him or not in this game, as Grass is on hunt. Shelty is not. Grass at 75 population, Shelty at 72 population, so not losing out too much at this moment. But here's the thing. Grass, he still hasn't started really production of those Carabalsa. So this is looking very, very similar to the last game. And with all of those Murmillo, Grass is going to hit full population in terms of Murmillo, which means he's going to be having a difficult time to deal with the kind of half Ulfsark, half Throw an Axeman army composition, which Shelty is going to be going for. Lovely Forest Fire here. Pushing those units off, does manage to snipe a Murmillo there with his Forest Fire, as the units here grabbing, garrisoning into the manor for the time being. Let's look at this. We do see the Oracle here scouting out the army of Shelty here. He's starting to see those Throw an Axemen. Shelty is trying to kind of hide these ever so slightly, and Grass doesn't know about it to a big degree here, as the Ulfsark's just scouting around. It's still mass Murmillo. Grass playing this strategy very blind here, kind of just expecting Shelty to do what he did in the first game, even after he saw it in the second game. Look at that. He's got himself 9 throwing axemen here in this game. Absolutely huge. As is he building mass? He's going now raiding cavalry coming out as well, probably a little bit early on the Raven cavalry, but he wants those to be able to deal with the Carabalsa that are potentially coming for Grass. But Grass now 94 population of 95 population here in this game, meaning he's just mass Murmillo, so he doesn't have a good option here in this game. But he doesn't necessarily need to worry. He can just sit in his base here. I don't think it's a bad idea right now for Grass to not spend favor, get himself, say, watchtowers, sit in his base, jump onto the cows, go heroic edge, potentially through Hyperion here as an option, or even through Thea, doesn't matter. And then utilize mass Satyr here to deal with those Throw an Axemen that are here. And now the Throw an Axemen have been revealed. Shelty has shown them, and Grass, is he going to make any sort of reaction to this? He's still making all of these Murmillo, and they are just absolutely useless against this army composition which Shelty has constructed. Shelty at this point, he kind of looks like he's trying to grab this town center. If he grabs it, he gets access to all of these boars as well. The villagers have now jumped onto the cows. Still no husbandry through, though, for Shelty. Is he grabbing it? No, Shelty. Husbandry is a big mistake. It's a huge kind of loss here for Shelty's food economy. The armory is up, as it looks like Shelty grabbing a town center and going to the heroic age is the option here. Grass now pushing through. He's got all the population here. We do see a handful of those Hersa are out to deal with those Prometheans. As the unit's trying to get this town center up, Grass has spotted it. He's pushing in hard onto this position as the Ulfsar coming in onto the back. Those thrown axes are going to be doing tons of damage there as the Valkyrie raiding cavalry pushing there into the Caraballas and taking those ones out as best as he possibly can. The Murmillo pushing through here for Grass as Grass's army is just not cutting this. He doesn't have the counter to the thrown axemen here in this fight, and Shelty is able to easily win this fight as Grass drops down to 91 population. Shelty has dropped down to 80 population as well. I said Shelty was winning this fight, but Shelty is retreating here. Taste turn around and fight it. Yeah, you don't have any Ursa to deal with the Promethean, but the units are just too strong here. As Grass gets pushed back and finally, not necessarily finally, but Shelty going to be trying to get himself his town center back up. He could possibly just put one thrown axeman onto that if he so chooses. The unit's going to be retreating back. Shelty gets his town center up. Grass on the other side of the map here, still pumping units. He's at 100 population. Shelty gets his town center. All of the resources have been spent. Shelty will be needing to think about getting himself more military buildings if he wants to be staying in this classical age, because I mean he is going to be building Valkyrie here, and Valkyrie raiding cavalry really strong here, going to be able to deal with those Caraballister as well here. As Grass right now, he's got himself only 2 Caraballister at this point. Yes, those Prometheans are a good answer to the thrown axemen, but with all the Valkyrie that are going to come out, all the favor which Shelty just got from that fight, and he's immediately spent it, he's going to be in a great position. Do we see any upgrades here? No upgrades here for either player here, it seems. No copper mail, no copper weapons, no anything coming out of the armory here. Grass at this point, lots of wood in the bank here. No extra military buildings down just yet as the villagers are hiding over on this wood line over here. Going to be a bit of a find here for Shelty, where he otherwise really shouldn't be able to raid the wood line of Grass here. He will be getting that as the units pushing through onto this position. They can kind of retreat back and try and cut those Caraballister out of position. Shelty motoring ahead now, able to grab those boars, still eating the hunt in his main base now, or herdables I should say in the main base, and does have himself the husbandry here as the Valkyrie coming through. We do see a handful of those hero Murmillo are still in on this fight. Is Shelty more than happy to take this one? 120 of 120 population. Needs another house. He hasn't yet grabbed that one, but as he's taking these fights, it doesn't really matter because he's going to be losing units, reproducing them immediately here as the Murmillo pulling back out of position. Shelty still sitting at full population. Grass has now dropped down to 90 population here as Shelty in a fantastic position in this game. The Valkyrie trying to push through onto those Promethean here as best as they possibly can. The Terma getting some damage done onto the thrown axeman in the back there as the Murmillo pushing forward here, trying to make this work here as best as they possibly can. More Valkyrie coming in onto this position to deal with this army. There's just so many, and those hero Murmillo are just going to get murdered by the throwing axemen of Shelty. Shelty now dropping down to 100 population. He does have that 4th military building up. He's got plenty of resources in the bank to potentially drop a 3rd town center if he so chooses behind all of this, as well as potentially start thinking about getting the middle control here. Look at the gold mine over here for Grass Group. We've still got 2,500 gold in the bank, but Grass has got nothing left in the tank here as the villagers sitting idle over here. Villagers sitting idle over here as well. Grass does decide in that 13th minute of this game, a very short series here with every game kind of finishing under 15 minutes as Shelty shows Mass Murmillo, it's just only going to work once. If you catch a player off guard here, sure, you can get the dub, but Shelty is an adapting player, realizing Mass Ulfsark, throwing action counter Ulfsark. Maybe it's been known for quite some time that is the case, but generally speaking, we don't see the thrown axeman coming through. So you have to scout. You absolutely have to scout here. Had Grass here, thrown down another counter barracks or two and made more Kara Ballast and more Terma here. He would have easily been able to deal with this fight with some good micro, especially with utilizing the shockwave here on those thrown axemen with his Terma to take these fights. But Grass just could not hold on, and Shelty claims the series here 2-1. Congratulations to Shelty getting on the scoreboard here in his groups. Well played to him. Grass going to have to kind of go back to the creative chopping board, so to speak, and work out how to take out an Odin player who's got some adaptability in his opening build orders here. If you guys enjoyed this game, please consider the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next game.